And joining us in studio now is Neil Voloshin. He is the Chief Operating Officer and the Chief Financial Officer of a company called Cavitation Technologies Incorporated. Their stock symbol is CVAT. Neil, good to see you again.
Thanks for having me back.
Now, we've been talking in the last couple of weeks about revenue numbers and business developments. I know you have some updates for us. Why don't you give us the lowdown, so to speak?
Sure. In our last segment, we did discuss a little bit of our revenue numbers. And what I'd like to make an emphasis is the following. A, we work on a fiscal year. So our year ends June 30th of 2017. That's the end of our fiscal year.
Okay.
And typically what we've seen in terms of our revenue in our core business, it's third and fourth quarter. That's where we generate more of the numbers that are coming in. And I guess it's due to the fact that large corporations, their budgetary numbers come out during the year end, and approvals go in a similar way. So this is the reason we see for our third, fourth quarter larger numbers that arrive. So for 2017, what we're currently seeing, backlog at about $2.1, $2.2 million. And for the fourth fiscal quarter, which we just started, we should have between $700 to $1 million in additional orders coming in. With this backlog of roughly $3 million, $2.8, $3 million, we should see bottom line of about $1.2, $1.4 million. And again, conceptually, to understand how our company operates, because remember, we discussed gross margins and low inventory costs. Our burn rate is typically about $1.2, $1.4 million per year.
Okay.
And how that arrives at soft costs, it's sure. All these additional numbers that arrive. So once we reach the threshold of about $1.4, $1.5 million and go above that, then about 80 to 90% of every revenue dollar that's coming in goes to the bottom line.
That's amazing.
So for example, if once, we believe that next year, with all the new developments, if we reach at our internal projections, maybe $5 million, we should have about $3 million bottom line. So this is how our numbers work. And hopefully that kind of gives a little bit of explanation.
Well, high profit margins are a wonderful thing.
Yeah, not too bad thing to have.
Now, speaking of a wonderful thing, you allowed me to participate in a test of the Cavitation Technologies' ability to vastly improve wine and spirits. In this particular case, we were talking about spirits. It was a cognac. You gave me two samples. One was a pre-treated, where it was a store-bought. You can buy it off the shelf, this particular cognac. Yes. We won't mention the brand. And then the one was the one where you had gone through the Cavitation Technologies application for that. So I tried them both. And I got to tell you, I was blown away. The first one, tasted like something you would buy in a supermarket, decent, but nothing to write home about. Your sample, after your treatment, tasted like something I might pay $50 or $75 per snifter in a fine dining restaurant. I mean, it was really something to behold. And I tried it over 2 nights just to make sure that I had the test down right. You guys have got something there. That was amazing.
That's really interesting. Well, again, when we talk about our technology, we're not one application technology. Right. We can go through various segments, anything related to fluids. And in spirits, for example, when we look and try to understand what makes a spirit taste better, everybody heard the word aging. Right. With keep wines or certain spirits like cognac, scotch, and so on, over a certain period of time. And it's really because of certain molecule structures, water and spirits bonding together and so on. And that's how the typical improvement in taste. Well, if we can do it in a split second, then it really eliminates a lot of processes of holding that spirit for years and years and years. What's also interestingly to understand, we've done testing through just have little contests. But people taste our cavitated product, and we'll take a leading brand for example, and the amount of hangover. So it really came down to a fact. Well, what do we do with it? I mean, we're changing certain molecular, certain esters and certain molecular structure in spirits. And today we're working with leading universities and scientists to really have a better understanding how this process works. Again, it is, for example, I've heard the word dehydration. When you drink spirits, one of the hangover effects is dehydration. So because we break fluids to nanoparticles, these are some of the effects we're seeing, that your body is not being dehydrated as much or let's say drinking our spirits versus, let's say, something you pick up off the shelves. We also look at the consumer-related products. We're utilizing our technology. For example, think of a coffee machine that you have at home. We're currently developing a unit that we can bring spirit home, pour it in the little coffee machine, and let's say 30 seconds later, you're going to have a spirit that's going to probably age, roughly 5 to 10 years, have clearly better tasting qualities and that hangover. So these are things that are in development. That's what our company does. These are innovative things that we do, and hopefully in the next 3 to 6 months, I can definitely discuss it further of how it is done.
Well, pardon this, but I have to say it, I'll drink to that. Once again, Cavitation Technologies, stock symbol CVAT. Neil, great, thanks for joining us.
Of course, thank you.